This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the elect, the 144,000, and the rest of the elect out there, shalom. I'm the brother Dhamma Agabar, here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai. And my, oh my, man, hey, the pride of Esau, his self-exaltation, is literally being brought down to the ground. All right. And this man's pride is leaving him isolated and leaving him basically in a state to where he's never going to be able to recover. And the Lord is using little old Iran to show you, the weakness and the vulnerability and how much, America and its military and its pride is really just a lot of hot air. All right. It's not as bad. It's not as big. It's not as powerful as it has claimed to be. And they're showing you how, the Lord is putting Esau Edom in a position to be ultimately judged, man. All right. Let me get this real fast. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 23. I read in the NLT. It says, Babylon, the mightiest hammer in all the earth, lies broken and shattered. Babylon is desolate among the nations. And that's what we're seeing right now with Iran. I got this video from Jimmy Dore, which is going to perfectly show you how the mightiest hammer, Babylon the Great, America, under this Donald Trump regime, is basically broken and shattered. And is never going to be able to recover from, what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is doing to this place. And is really going to leave Babylon the Great, America, and the Israelis with only one option left on the table. And we know what that option is. It starts with an N, right? And ends with an R option. Because, every other conventional military tactic and whatever, it's military is shattered. It's broken, man. I was just reading an article to where, I think it's the USS Ronald Reagan is in total fucking shambles. They got a bunch of Navy men on that warcraft, on that aircraft carrier, to where that thing's, they were only supposed to be deployed for a couple months, 5 months. They've been out there for 9 months, and they got holes all in the aircraft carrier. The toilets don't work. The military men are eating shitty and nasty food. They're barely eating a pack of ramen noodles and 2 tortillas a day. The morale is totally stripped. They got a lot of the servicemen reporting back to their families. Their families are complaining and crying that, they want out. They don't, they're tired of being out there. They need some rest. They need some R&R, but they ain't getting no R&R, man. You see? And this is a beautiful thing that the Lord is doing. He's letting Esau Edom, the so-called white man, reap what he sows. All right. You live by the sword. You constantly use war as a way to, to subjugate and to dominate your opponents that you always thought you had the advantage over. Now the weak is strong. Now these nations are building up their militaries. They're linking up with Russia and China and these other countries that have highly sophisticated and up-to-date military equipment, and you're being totally exposed, man. Hey, it's beautiful what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is doing in Babylon the Great. So let me read this again. Jeremiah 50 and 23 in the NLT. Babylon, the mightiest hammer in all the earth, lies broken and shattered. That's what you see right now. They don't have any more interceptors. And this is why you hear Iran, I'm going to show you in this video, is making big, like they're letting their nuts hang. And they're making these huge demands, here on Babylon the Great. And it's never been that way. America was always the one that had the leverage. America was the one that was always bullying and telling the nations what they need to do in order to get the boot off their neck. Well, now it ain't fun when the rabbit has the gun. And now they're making huge demands to America, and they're telling them, look, unless you do these demands, we ain't effing with you. We ain't open. Well, we'll open the Strait of Hormuz, but we ain't letting you do any business in it. We run it. We control it. It's ours. Nana nana boo boo type of shit, It says Babylon is desolate among the nations. You see, and this is why this place, the America and the Israelis are being very detested, and they're it's a lot of shameful spewing on the glory of the tiny types and Donald Trump in the West. All these nations are looking at America with a side eye. One thing we know for sure, it was always biblical prophecy. It says, listen, Babylon, or listen, America, for I have set a trap for you. You are caught, for you have fought against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Right. All of the pride and the arrogance against the Most High. You putting the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the biblical Israelites, in slavery. All of your skullduggery, all of your murder, your rape, your reneging on deals, you using the world reserve currency, which is the dollar, to dominate and to put sanctions and to, wickedly, deal with these nations that didn't want to subordinate themselves under you. It's all coming back home. It's all coming back to bite you in the ass. You don't have the upper hand. You don't have the advantage anymore. Hey, so the Lord has put you in slippery places, and we see you slipping, falling, and you can't get up. Everything that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth is, people already know that it's a lie and it's bullshit. And now you got the Iranians coming out and saying that we're not having no negotiations with America whatsoever until these demands are met. And guess what? They have the leverage and the power with the backing of Russia and China, and your whole presence in Asia or in the Middle East is totally decapitated, man. So you don't have no bargaining chips. You don't have nothing to say no more. Your authority is waning. And the only thing you have left in your pocket is some nuclear missiles, which we already know how that's going to end. And those are not even going to work in your favor, because those are the weapons of Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai's indignation. So the Lord got you in the ultimate quagmire. It says, verse 25, it says, the Lord Yahweh has opened his armory. And what's his armory? Those nuclear missiles. And brought out the weapons to vent his fury. The terror that falls upon the Babylonians will be the work of the sovereign Yahweh of heaven's armies. Yes, come against her from the distant lands, break open her granaries, crush her walls and houses into heaps of rubble, destroy her completely and leave nothing. You see? And this is the snare and the trap ultimately Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has America in. And this is how your end is going to come. Just like this. It says, destroy even her young bulls. It will be terrible for them too. Slaughter them all, for Babylon's day of reckoning is coming. You see that, man? Beautiful, man. So let's read this, man. So, brothers, at the end of the day, hey, man, hey, ain't nobody got shit to say against the true prophets of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Hey, none of these jakes, lately they've been doing all their criticism videos, the racist Hebrew Israelites, this, that, and the third, blah, yada, yada, yada. Hey, don't none of that shit matter, because they don't have the truth. They don't have the answers. They don't have the vision. We do. We see it as clear as day. And everything that we've been saying has come to pass. Hey, and eventually everything that we told them that's going to befall them is going to befall them. So let's check out about 8 minutes of this video, man. I got a couple more precepts and I'm going to close it. But hey, man, hey, the Lord is working, man. And the Lord has this devil Esau Edom right in his sights, man. So let's check this out.
It's a message very clearly to Trump, and this is a dilemma. Not only are they not offering him the silver bullet, the way out, the way to declare victory and retire with good grace. No, on the contrary. Now what they are doing is actually taunting him and pushing him to say, you have to concede, you have to capitulate on all of these matters in order to get an arrangement that will lead to some.
Right, and you see now they're talking about how America is already tapping into his reserves of oil. Remember, the Strait of Hormuz is closed, so that oil ain't getting through. That nitrogen, that fertilizer is not getting through. This is why the price of gas is steadily going up. Hey, Iran has done a bang-up job. Hey, the Lord put the spirit on those Iranians to set the perfect trap for these devils, man. And now they're running out of interceptors. Now they're getting desperate. Now they don't have no more bargaining chips. They have no more authority, man. And all these other nations and America's allies, like Scripture said, they're going to eventually turn on this whore, because nobody can put any investment or any trust that America can uphold inside of any deals or negotiation that it makes with these nations. You got a lot of those Saudi countries can already see that America can't assure their protection, man. Yeah, right now they're probably still willing and dealing and smiling in Babylon's face, but we know ultimately how it all ends for America, man. Your allies are going to turn on you. They're going to burn this whore with fire. Call hello, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Let's go.
Sort of opening of the Hormuz. So it's a big shift that is taking place, and of course it leaves Trump in a huge dilemma.
Iran has now completely changed the game. They're done with Donald Trump and his garbage, and they've laid down the law. And by the way, it's over for the United States in the Middle East. It's over. And the Strait of Hormuz is over for the United States. It's all over. This is the biggest blunder that the U.S. has made maybe ever. In fact, Iran just blew up 2 tankers. Just to let you know, they're not messing around. 2 tankers trying to get through the Strait of Hormuz without their permission. They blew them up. Wow. Hormuz tension surged after reports of another tanker strike. Iran has reportedly hit another tanker in the Persian Gulf off the coast of Oman, setting it on fire. Gulf News reported earlier today, noting the information had yet to be verified. It's verified. The information first emerged on social media with video footage showing a vessel on fire. These reports follow earlier ones by Reuters and the Associated Press on another tanker that was hit by Iran on August 8th. So this is their second tanker. The vessel was Emirati and prompted condemnation from the United Arab Emirates and other Gulf governments.
You see, like these UAEs, they're still allied with America. You can't just roll through there being an ally with America, think Iran is not going to do anything. And it's like I was saying earlier, you see, the UAE, they really still believe that America can protect them, that America can defend them over there through what the Iranians are doing in the Strait of Hormuz. And they can't. Like I said, that their USS Ronald Reagan or whatever that that aircraft carrier is in shambles, man. It's not even fit for operation. And these look, and Babylon can't defend you, UAE and you Saudis and you other American allied countries over there, thinking you're gonna just roll through the Strait of Hormuz like it's all good, man. Hey, if you're an enemy, if you're an ally to America, you're an enemy to Iran, and you're not gonna be able to pass through that strait. Until what? Until your daddy Esau Edom, Babylon the Great, America capitulates, bends the knee. You see, so the Lord is turning that place up, and it's only going to lead to this third world war, man. Hey, so the Lord is the ultimate chess player. And then recently you just had, who was it? Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan just make a deal basically to defend one another when all hell breaks loose, and it's going to ultimately lead those Israelis hung high and dry. And their only ally and their only you got a friend in me is going to be the West, who was weakened and who was not up to par. So this man is through.
Yeah, go pound sand. The attack was confirmed by ADNOC and by the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations. Vessel traffic in the Strait of Hormuz and the Bab el-Mandeb Strait crumbled last week amid a Houthi claim they had hit a Saudi oil tanker in the Red Sea. So there's the two part. There's the Bab el-Mandeb Strait that Saudis could get some of their oil, and the Houthis have shut it down. Those are the people in Yemen. They have shut it down. And by the way, Donald Trump decided to attack Yemen when he first became president, and then he retreated. He's like, okay, we can't. This is stupid. We can't beat these guys. And so now they got the Strait of Hormuz closed down, and they got the Bab el-Mandeb Strait closed down. Despite hopes that Oman and Iran could reach a deal on jointly managing Hormuz. Iran ties the Strait of Hormuz reopening to U.S. reparations, so now they've made demands. Now Iran is not messing around. They want their $300 billion to fix all the stuff that we blew up. They want all their money unfrozen that has been frozen for decades. And they want the United States to completely pull out.
Damn. See that? So Babylon, America doesn't have any more leverage over there, man. Iran holds all the bargaining chips, man. Like I said, it ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun, right? You see? And now they have the ability to where they're going to tell America, look, if you want to operate here, nigga, you got to pay us reparations, man. You see? You got to pay us reparations. You got to totally, like William Wallace told the army when they came to fight him, he was like, leave here now, and we won't slaughter every one of you. And on your way out, you must, what do you say, pull your pants down, put your legs between your head, and kiss your own ass. And when you leave Scotland, knock on every door and apologize to every Scot for all the rape, robbery, and murder that you have accomplished. So, in a particular way, man. See, this man is through, bro. All right. It says Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. You see, and this has been Esau's MO and sentiment for many, many years, as he was sitting on, as the top nation on the planet. But those days are long gone, man. All right, those days are long gone. You see, and now this man is he's fallen. All right, and that word Lucifer doesn't mean the devil or Satan. I think the Hebrew word is Hayalal, which just means light bearer. And Esau is a form of a Lucifer or a light bearer at one point, where he was America was the beacon of the whole earth, the light of the world. The top military power on the earth has ever seen. They were dominating. They were unstoppable. They were able to, push their foreign policy, weaken the nations, man. They was able to destabilize countries. Put sanctions on countries that didn't do what they wanted them to do. They could go in your backyard and steal your resources. They could destabilize your countries, put in puppet leaders. And it was all basically through the power of their military, their ability to able to, out-bomb and outgun and to just rain fire from heaven upon their enemies, man. But now those days are gone. You see, that power they once had is totally, completely being snatched away from them. It says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? And this is how everybody's looking at you. Look at Trump. Everywhere he goes, he's a laughing stock, man. Like I said, America doesn't have that respect of the world or the fear that these nations had of a Babylon the Great. The Lord used little old Iran to fully expose the American military, how it's not as big and bad and as powerful as it seems to be. And they've totally wiped out your presence over there in the Middle East, man, in the so-called Middle East, which is Asia. They plucked your eyes out, Now you can't even see attacks coming. They wiped out all of your military bases for the most part. And now they're telling you, look, part of the demands is you got to completely get the F out of Asia, get the hell out of here, out of these Middle East countries. And then, they're telling those other Arab nations, then we can have peace. Then we can operate in a way without this damn devil, doing his wickedness here. You got to go, boy. And that's just only the beginning, because eventually the Lord's going to totally pluck you up from the root and updo your whole rulership on this planet Earth, man. You see? And this is the stage the Lord is setting for Esau to be finally judged and destroyed. It says, I'll read that part again. It says, read this in the NLT, Isaiah 14:16. Everyone there will stare at you and ask, can this be the one who shook the earth and made the kingdoms of the world tremble? Is this the one who destroyed the world and made it into a wasteland? Is this the king who demolished the world's greatest cities and had no mercy on his prisoners? You see, the kings of the nations lie in stately glory, each one in his own tomb. But you will be thrown out of your grave like a worthless branch, like a corpse trampled underfoot. You will be dumped into a mass grave with those killed in battle. You will descend into the pit. You see? And this is what the Lord has coming for this damn devil Esau Edom. And this is only the beginning. You see? Eventually, a Babylon the Great, America is going to be completely destroyed. Your whole memory and your presence in this earth is going to be totally taken down and uprooted. And you devils are going into slavery in the kingdom of heaven. And then after 1,000 years, man, you're going to be totally done away with. There shall be none remaining of the house of Esau. It says, you will not be given a proper burial, for you have destroyed your nation and slaughtered your people. The descendants of such an evil person will never again receive honor. You see, and your honor is being stripped away from you right now. How much more in the kingdom when the whole world is going to be able to lay that proper title of the Edomites upon you, and you're not going to have your media. You're not going to have a power of the power to change the narrative. You're not going to have sway over these nations, nor the lie in the minds of these people, to where you could deceive them anymore. It says, kill this man's children, let them die because of their father's sins. They must not rise and conquer the earth, filling the world with their cities. This is what Yahweh of heaven army says. I myself have risen against Babylon. I will destroy his children and his children's children, says the Lord. I will make Babylon a desolate place of isles filled with swamps and marshes. I will sweep the land with the broom of destruction. I, Yahweh of heaven armies, have spoken. You see? So this man is through and his day is coming. Let's get some more.
And they want the United States to completely pull out. And that's their demand. You know why? Because they have all the cards. Donald Trump, the United States is out of missiles. We're out of them. And it's going to take a long time to replenish it.
Right. And also, America was trying to get a lot of their European allies to come up off their interceptors. And they was like, hell no, why are we going to give it to you? And then we're going to be left here defenseless, man. And a lot of these allies are waking up to the fact that, look, their only interest and America's only interest is to protect the small hats, man. Here it is. We'll give you our interceptors and we're just going to be sitting ducks. And we know you ain't going to come to our aid in our defense. I was just listening to a video earlier today. This nigga Trump is now talking about going and stealing Greenland in the midst of all of this embarrassing losses over there in Asia, getting their ass handed to him by Persia. Now these devils are talking about going into Greenland and taking the oil and taking over that country. And they've been seen bringing all type of they brought some type of American oil company over there to start the pillaging, man. Which that's going to leave these devils more in a slippery situation with these NATO and EU nations that's saying, look, you can't have Greenland. Hey, so this man is totally gone plumb loco, man. Hey, but it's all the doing of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. The Lord is putting it in the minds of Trump and these nations to do everything they're doing to fulfill prophecy.
Iran demands U.S. compensation, ends to attacks, sanctions relief, and blockade removal to reopen Hormuz. Iran wants the strait reopened only after U.S. meets multiple conditions delaying prospects. And here's a spokesperson. Here's Major General Mohan Rizal. He's going to tell you what they want.
Hormuz will not be opened. No American warship has the right to enter the Persian Gulf. The American presence in the Persian Gulf is the main cause of the insecurity of the last 50 years. Without the U.S. leaving the Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz being controlled by the countries of the region themselves, especially us and the country of Oman, who are on both sides of this strait, it is impossible for security to be established. The end of the war is also in our hands.
The end of the war is in our hands.
You see, but that's where, Iran and their pride, they're going off, all right? Because this war is not in their hands. It's all in the hands of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And we know it's going to ultimately lead to this third world war, Because like I said, at the end of the day, hey, Babylon, America still have these nukes, man. And we know eventually they are going to fly. We know what prophecy says. These nations are still going to be gathered into that valley of Jehoshaphat. They are still going to go to war, Can't none of these nations stop that because it's prophecy. So he's going off on that. But hey, man, all this stuff is all part of the theater of war and, the chess moves of the Heavenly Father, which is going to ultimately bring, this third world war in full swing in motion.
And it is. You know why they're saying that? Because it is. There's nothing the United States and Donald Trump can do. Nothing. And if they try a land invasion, guess what Iran has been saying for months? Come, try it. We're waiting. We're waiting. They're not going to try it. And if they do, it will be the biggest disaster ever.
We will look at the end of the war when, first of all, we have received all our damages from America. Secondly, we must reach a 100% guarantee about the future, which is not possible without the U.S. leaving the Persian Gulf. Therefore, the second condition is the withdrawal of the U.S. from the Persian Gulf.
So there you go. We want our money, and the United States has to leave the Persian Gulf. We want our money, and they have to leave. Now, I wonder if that means all the military bases, because there's military bases all around. We got military bases in Saudi Arabia. We got military bases in Qatar. We got military bases in all those Gulf states.
Your medication gives you dry mouth, and most stimulants, antidepressants, and antihypertensives do.
Those Gulf states. I think it probably means that. So here's Alistair Crook. He's going to tell you what all this means.
That's like this is a precursor to what Prime Minister Arachi said over the weekend. Two of the demands are American departure and American reparations.
Yes, that's right.
Much of a chance of that, is there?
300 billion is what they're asking for in terms of reparations. Yes, none of these. These are really, I think it's fair to say these are quite maximalist demands. And when you couple that with, if you like, the proactive military structure, stance, such as attacking one of the tankers last night and again this morning, just before the market opening, when you see this, you can see, this is a new strategy that is being formulated, and it is one of no surrender to Trump, that we are going to accept the challenge of the United States and we are going to prevail. And that's what, this is the message very clearly to Trump. And this is a dilemma. Not only are they not offer him the silver bullet, the way out, the way to declare victory and retire with good grace. No, on the contrary, now what they are doing is actually taunting him and pushing him to say, you have to concede, you have to capitulate on all of these matters in order to get an arrangement that will lead to some sort of opening of the Hormuz. So it's a big shift that is taking place. And of course, it leaves Trump in a huge dilemma. Is he capable of accepting to be the loser in this war? How will that impact on the midterms?
But no, hey, this devil, hey, the pride of his heart is going to deceive him, man. And these devils are going to still go on TV and lie and talking about, oh, they want a deal. It's still going to be telling the American people that they're winning the war, that they got all the bargaining chips, that, their fate is in their hands. And like I said, it's just going to lead ultimately to Joel, the third chapter coming to pass, man. Point blank, period.
All of this is calculating, but the most important thing is, how is all of this going to affect the markets? Because I think, Netanyahu gave it away when he said, look, the thing that really matters after he came back from Washington. Yes, he said all the other things about, greatest meeting ever, but he's on a campaign. But what he said was, I believe the president of the United States is anxious not to see a market crash. And so that was, I think this is the key thing behind it. This is the interest. So Trump has got to sort of balance all these things, but the markets are very, very vulnerable at the moment, particularly the bond market, and will a more aggressive posture on the part of Iran, a willingness to take on Trump if he escalates or tries to escalate, how will that impact on markets? And this is the calculus. But it could change at any day, because I just wish to add that there's, the whole region is now burning quietly. Up to 10 ballistic missiles at the proxy forces, Saudi proxy forces in the south, sent their mercenaries fleeing from their positions.
So Saudi Arabia was threatening Yemen. They're like, we're going to invade you. So Yemen just started bombing them. They blew up their biggest oil depot. And just like he said, they're sending missiles all the time. And then Saudi Arabia was like, after they blew up their biggest oil depot, Saudi Arabia was like, all right, we're not going to invade you. Let's work this out. Yemen, badass. It's one of the poorest countries, and yet the United States, Saudi Arabia, nobody could overtake them.
Yeah, it's funny, too, because I was listening to this guy the other day, and he was saying, like, the Saudis trying to fight against Yemen is kind of like the Saudis are living in a glass house, but those Yemenis are living in a rock house, They ain't got nothing to lose, But you look at the Saudis, they got all that infrastructure living in that glass house. So, like, when they're attacked by Yemen, hey, it matters. It's doing a lot of damage. But when they attack them, you're just bombing rocks and fucking, shit that don't really fucking matter at the end of the day. And it's just showing you how everybody that's allied with America, man, they're all taking big, fat, I gotta sound like Kyle, big, fat, juicy L's, man. And like I said, it's going to get to the point to where these nations are going to realize, look, being on the side with Babylon the Great is a losing situation. Like I keep saying, this is why eventually all the allies and those that are confederate with Babylon are going to turn on her, man. All right, they're all going to flip ship. They're all going to turn script on this place and leave this place, to be destroyed.
There has been another attack on the Jizan refinery, Saudi's Aramco's refinery on the coast of the Red Sea. Another major attack. I don't know exactly how damaging, but it's still on fire. And it was attacked a week ago. So Saudi is not exporting any. For the first time, its exports of oil are zero. It's more or less the same for the UAE. The exports are zero. They've tried to export oil, and their tankers have been struck by missiles. And so Saudi Arabia and the Yemen are at war, and it's heating up. And the Yemenis are attacking, and the Saudis and America are attacking into Iraq at the resistance group, the Hashad. And Iran is attacking into Erbil, into Iraq, at the same time, the Kurdish forces, which seem to be being prepared in some way by the United States to try infiltrate into Iran and establish a sort of base inside Iranian national territory. So the Iranians have been assassinating them and attacking them fiercely. And after the attack on the Iraqi resistance, they have attacked into Saudi Arabia.
See, like you can see, hey, remember, Iran said they've been preparing for this shit for decades, man. They knew that this day was coming. And now, you know, hey, they ain't worried about nothing, man. Hey, and it's beautiful. Like I said, this is all part of biblical prophecy at the end of the day anyway. All right. This, wait, I want that one. Yeah. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 13. I read in the NLT. For I have sworn by my own name, says Yahweh, that Basra will become an object of horror and a heap of ruins. It will be mocked and cursed. All its towns and villages will be desolate forever. It's talking about America. I have heard a message from Yahweh that an ambassador was sent to the nations to say, form a coalition against Edom and prepare for battle. You see? So these nations, they're all basically teaming up, and they're going to team up to come up against America and the tiny tops. They're going to be completely isolated eventually when all is said and done. It says, Yahweh says to Edom, I will cut you down to size among the nations. You will be despised by all. You see? You can't tell me that we're not seeing that right now. You see? This man is despised. He's being looked down upon. Let's get this word for despised. The word is bazah. It says to despise, hold in contempt, disdain, to despise, regard with contempt, to be despicable, to be vile, to be worthless. You see? And everybody is this is how everybody is looking at America, man. All right? This place is despised, man. You know? This place is hated because people are finally putting it together that this man is completely the devil that the Bible speaks of. Everybody knows that dealing with America, you're never going to get a fair shake. You know, these guys, you know, they're too prideful. They're liars. They're snakes. They're deceivers. They're backstabbers, you know. They never uphold any deals, you know. As long as they can have the advantage over you, hey, they'll hold the advantage over you. They'll put sanctions over you if you don't do what they want you to do. And then on top of that, they make all these whack-ass and dumb deals to where in order for you to do business with them, you got to allow them access to, you know, your natural resources, or to put a military base in your country, or they come with their philosophies and their wine, and they totally freak out and you know, turn out your society. You know, this man is a damn walking cancer, man, and people now have had enough. And the Lord got this man on Front Street. It says, you have been deceived by the fear you inspire in others and by your own pride. And what was his terribleness? His military, his policies, you know, like I said, his control of the world reserve currency, the dollar. You know, that was his leverage. That's the way that he, you know, he used his sword in his military to be able to strike terror into these other nations to where they wouldn't even think of trying to fight against America, that they would just give in to their demands because they feared their, you know, $1 trillion budget military and their so-called sophisticated this and sophisticated that. But hey, Iran has shown that a lot of that shit is just sounds good on paper and it's not as devastating as it looks. You know, Esau is in the power of deception. You see, but now people are realizing that, look, this man can be touched. He's not invincible. He's not all powerful, man. He's like the Wizard of Oz. Behind there is an old, decrepit, wrinkled joke. See? It says, you live in a rock fortress and control the mountain heights. But even if you make your nest among the peaks with the eagles, I will bring you crashing down, says Yahweh. Edom will be an object of horror. All who pass by will applaud and will gasp at the destruction they see there. It will be like the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah and their neighboring towns, says Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. No one will live there. No one will inhabit it. See? And that's the ultimate judgment the Lord is going to bring upon Esau, Edom. Here, basically America and those tiny tops. Total destruction and annihilation. And it's all starting to be revealed with this whole Iran situation. They've totally exposed you, man. And it's only going to prompt these other nations, you know, who have somewhat stronger militaries to realize, hey, man, this man is not unstoppable, man. This man is not all that. A lot of the shit that he's been saying and doing was all talk. It was all fluff and puff, man. It was all being done in pride. But now Esau pride is being checked. Now he's showing you how weak that chin really is, and it's only going to escalate. And it's only going to get to the point to where this man is going to be destroyed, man. You see? And this man, he's not going to be able to get himself out of this shit, man. Yeah, he's through. He's done. You can check out the rest of this video. It's pretty good, man. But fair use. You know, just in case. You know, usually I use Jimmy Dore videos. You don't usually flag it, but hey, man, the Lord is working, man. The Lord got this devil on the ropes. Hey, he's through. He's panicking. He knows his time is coming near. So that's why we gotta stay prayed up and be circumspect, because this man is gonna come down with great wrath. Remember what happened with Antiochus when he couldn't win the war in Egypt. He turned around and took out his wrath on the Israelites. And we know he's going to try to do that here, try to get some carnal victory, try to get some type of sail back in his winds. But we know ultimately it's going to end terribly for this damn devil, man. So, hey, with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And to the next one, Shalom.